Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Young and the Restless predictions for the week have Sharon Newman's mental breakdown worsening to the point that Nick Newman takes drastic action to get her back on the right track. These Y&R predictions are based on recent episodes, official CBS spoilers, and the new weekly promo. First up on Y&R, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heil, may step into the role of the family black sheep. That's a position usually occupied by her brother, Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. She's defying her father, Victor Newman, Eric Braden, both personally and professionally. So, it all started when her dad told Cole Howard, J. Eddie Peck, to stay away from his daughter. But he ignored Victor and took Victoria to bed. On Monday, Young and the Restless spoilers see Cole telling Victoria he's moving to Genoa City for her and their daughter. Then, on the work front, Victoria's in a moral quandary because Victor's targeting Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. She wants to warn Billy, but this puts her at odds with her father. On Friday, spoilers say Victor snaps at Victoria. Is Daddy's girl now a black sheep on Y&R? Next in Y&R predictions, Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam could have another hookup. On Tuesday's Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy remains stubborn on his split from Chelsea. In the Y&R promo spoilers, Connor Newman, Judah Mackey, tells Adam that he and Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, had a good thing. But what he had with Chelsea was something more. With both Chelsea and Adam facing rejection, they might repeat what they did in Baltimore. Next on the prediction roster, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, might kidnap Daniel Romalotti, Michael Grazietti. On Monday, Young and the Restless spoilers see Sharon's hallucination, Cameron Kirsten, Lyndon Ashby, pushing her to target Daniel. And Sharon realizes the repulsive suggestion is really her own. So, Sharon's seen yelling at her hallucination on the patio of Crimson Lights. Then, when Daniel shows up on Y&R, Sharon asks him to talk privately. By Thursday, Y&R spoilers confirm Sharon tries to cover up what she did. I suspect she might drug Daniel's coffee and stash him somewhere. She's tormented by memories of Cassie Newman's, Cameron Grimes' death, and thinks Daniel needs to pay. This leads me to my next prediction. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, may drag Sharon to Fairview Psychiatric Hospital to prevent her arrest. Young and the Restless spoilers remind that Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, already urged Nick to commit Sharon Newman. On Monday, CBS daytime spoilers show Nick discussing Sharon's missed doctor's appointment and unanswered calls. Maria Copeland, Cameron Grimes, and Faith Newman, Railingcaster, go with Nick to Sharon's house. It's a mess, and she's gone. By Friday, Maria busts Sharon in a lie, and Nick Newman seeks advice on helping her. I think he might have Sharon Newman involuntarily committed before things escalate further. And no, Nick's not her husband. But he's her co-parent, and if Nick feels Sharon is a danger to herself or others, he could certainly get a psych hold put in place. Young and the Restless spoilers see Sharon acting out and spiraling, and Nick Newman needs to help her. Lastly, Audra Charles, Zalika Silver, may try to jump ship to Jeopardy. She's fallen out of favor with Victor thanks to Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer. Victor confronted Audra about revealing his ownership of Glissade to Nate Hastings, seen Dominic, but didn't fire her. Audra knows she's on thin ice and since she's angry at Kyle, might approach Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. Perhaps Audra offers inside information on Glissade in exchange for a job. This could be her way of burning bridges with both Kyle and Victor simultaneously. As one of the most iconic soap operas of all time, The Young and the Restless has long kept fans on the edge of their seats with its twists, turns, and complex character dynamics. For decades, viewers have watched the relationships between its characters evolve, and a particular storyline has recently been building that seems poised to take center stage. Sharon Newman's mental health crisis and the possible involvement of her ex-husband Nick Newman in her journey toward recovery. Could Nick find himself making the heart-wrenching decision to send Sharon to Fairview, Genoa City's psychiatric facility? Let's break down the likely developments and what it could mean for Sharon, Nick, and everyone around them. Sharon Newman, a character defined by her emotional depth and resilience, has often faced challenges that would break many others. However, in recent months, viewers have seen Sharon increasingly struggle with her mental health. The events of the past year, including the trauma of losing a child, the turbulent relationship dynamics, and her own emotional vulnerability, have begun to weigh on her in ways that she can no longer ignore. Sharon, who has always prided herself on being a pillar of strength for her family, now finds herself unraveling in front of them, unable to keep up her usual brave face. It's not hard to see why Sharon's mental health would come into question. Her history includes years of struggles with bipolar disorder, anxiety, and the emotional fallout of failed relationships. With the recent death of her son, Cassie, and the challenges with her marriage to Ray, Sharon is at her breaking point. Even her attempts to navigate her relationship with Nick, her one true love, have been marred by their tumultuous past and her internal struggles. With all of this mounting pressure, it's only a matter of time before Sharon reaches her tipping point. While she's tried to cope in the past by confiding in friends, family, and therapy, her mental state may soon necessitate a more drastic intervention. Nick Newman, always protective of the people he loves, has never been afraid to make tough decisions. Although he and Sharon's romantic history is fraught with tension, there's no denying the deep bond between them. Even as they navigate the challenges of co-parenting their children and sharing a complicated past, Nick has been there for Sharon during some of her most vulnerable moments. However, Nick's love for Sharon has always come with a sense of responsibility, and as her mental state deteriorates, it's likely that he will feel compelled to intervene in a significant way. As hard as it may be, Nick may come to the conclusion that the best way to help Sharon is to have her committed to Fairview. Fairview, the psychiatric facility in Genoa City, is no stranger to dramatic storylines involving troubled characters. From Chelsea Lawson's past struggles to the ongoing issues surrounding other residents, the facility represents both the possibility of healing and the harsh reality of institutional care. For Nick, the decision to send Sharon there would not come lightly. He is someone who genuinely cares for her well-being and will be tormented by the idea of locking her away in such a clinical, emotionally isolating environment. However, as Sharon becomes more erratic or self-destructive, Nick may see no other choice. The tipping point may come when Sharon reaches a breaking point and refuses to seek help, pushing away the people closest to her. Sharon's deep denial about her need for assistance could leave Nick no choice but to take action on her behalf, especially if he feels that her safety is at risk. A confrontation between Nick and Sharon may unfold, with Nick ultimately making the difficult decision that he must have her admitted to Fairview, in hopes that it will bring her the care and attention she needs. Sending Sharon to Fairview would undoubtedly have a devastating emotional impact on her. Sharon has always been a strong-willed woman, fiercely independent, and proud of her ability to hold things together. The idea of being forced into a psychiatric facility could deeply wound her sense of self-worth and leave her feeling betrayed by Nick. While it may be necessary for Sharon's safety and well-being, the emotional fallout from Nick's decision will likely create a rift between them. Sharon may feel as if Nick is abandoning her at her lowest point, even if it's done with the best of intentions. She may lash out at him, accusing him of not understanding her struggles or seeing her as weak. This rejection could put a strain on their already fragile relationship, causing them to question the future of their family dynamic. However, there is also the possibility that Sharon's time at Fairview could be a wake-up call for her. A controlled environment with professional care might allow Sharon to gain the clarity and healing she so desperately needs. While she may initially resist the treatment, eventually, she could come to see Nick's decision as an act of love, one that ultimately gives her the space and support she requires to work through her issues. Sharon's journey through Fairview could also lead to emotional growth and healing, not just for her, but for her relationship with Nick. If they manage to work through their issues while she is in treatment, it may create the foundation for a stronger and healthier connection between them in the future. One of the most interesting aspects of this potential storyline is the psychological toll it would take on Nick. As someone who has always prided himself on protecting the people he loves, Nick will undoubtedly be burdened by guilt. The emotional weight of sending Sharon to a psychiatric facility will affect him on a profound level, and viewers will likely witness Nick struggling with his decision in the weeks and months following her departure. For Sharon, Recovery at Fairview could mean taking the time to confront her deepest fears, process her trauma, and ultimately return to Genoa City as a changed person. This could be the beginning of a new chapter for Sharon, one in which she is finally able to reclaim her mental and emotional health. Whether or not Sharon will emerge from Fairview as a stronger and more self-assured person remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: if Nick makes the decision to send Sharon there, it will be a turning point in both of their lives, with consequences that will echo throughout the rest of their journey in Genoa City. As the drama of The Young and the Restless continues to unfold, the idea of Nick putting Sharon into Fairview is a compelling possibility. The emotional conflict, the internal struggles, and the fallout from such a decision would provide fans with some of the most intense and heart-wrenching moments of the year. Regardless of what happens, one thing is certain: Sharon and Nick's bond will be forever changed by this ordeal, and the ripple effects of his decision will be felt by all of the characters involved in their tangled lives. In the world of Genoa City, where love, loss, and emotional chaos are never far behind, one thing is for sure: the journey ahead for Sharon, Nick, and their family will be one filled with dramatic highs and lows, and their paths to healing may be more complicated than ever.